How's it going? Here we go. Time for the review video. Gonna try and make it a quick one. Just go over a few things and be ready to roll. So, anyway, live from the Strouch House, Strouch Casa, as the cool kids call it. Test is all about cells. Obviously, we started first with talking about prokaryotes versus eukaryotes. Remember, pro means no, so no nucleus, no membrane-bound organelles. Okay, eukaryotes are the more advanced cells. They have nucleus, they have membrane-bound organelles. They're multicellular organisms. Remember, any bacteria is going to be a prokaryote, where pretty much the rest of living things would be considered in the eukaryotic category. Things they do share is, remember, they both have DNA. Don't let that fool you. Just because a prokaryote doesn't have a nucleus doesn't mean that it doesn't have DNA. It still has DNA. It's just free-floating, just kind of hanging out in the cell. So that was the big thing we started with, and then we went into the organelles. Remember, y'all did your cell analogy. You had your notes, the whole chart notes and everything about all the cell parts. The main cell parts you need to focus on are the ones that, remember, know the difference between plant and animal. So remember, plant cells have a chloroplast and a cell wall that animal cells don't have those. Animal cells, remember, they have centrioles, and they also have lysosomes. So those two parts are specific to animal cells only. Okay. Sorry, some dogs barking in the background. These are the 5 parts, I guess, that you need to focus on for the matching. Mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, the endoplasmic reticulum, the lysosome, and the nucleus. So those 5. It is good to know ribosomes. Remember, ribosomes are little protein factories, so make sure you understand that. Mitochondria, remember, that's the powerhouse. It creates the energy for the cell. Golgi apparatus is going to be kind of the packaging and the sorting department. Endoplasmic reticulum helps to move things throughout the cell. And then lysosomes are kind of the cleanup crew. They go around and help digest, dead cell parts, things like that. And then, if you don't know what the nucleus does, then you haven't been awake in my class for 2 weeks. So, just good luck with that. Let's see, what else here? Which of the following cell structures would not be present in prokaryotic cells? Nucleus, yeah. Which structure, if found in a cell, would provide the best evidence that the cell is eukaryotic? Remember, if it has internal membranes, that means it has membrane-bound organelles. So that would be what you're looking for there. Remember, what do mitochondria do? So mitochondria help energize the cell. If there's a cell that needs a lot of that needs a lot of energy, but you take out its mitochondria, what's going to happen to that cell? Well, it's not going to get the energy it needs, and the muscles or whatever it is aren't going to be able to do the work that they need to do. Then the next part of the next second week or whatever was all about cell transport and how things move in and out of the cell. So we talked about passive transport and active transport. So remember, passive transport, diffusion, osmosis, and facilitated diffusion. And passive transport is like floating down the Guadalupe. Okay, you're in the inner tube. It's taking you, the current's taking you. It's a natural flow of things. No energy is required. Active transport, on the other hand, energy is required. It's like swimming upstream. Remember my wonderful picture? Excuse me. Wonderful picture of Michael Phelps swimming upstream today. So there you have it. Get out of here. Here, there's a dog. Enjoy the dog for 30 seconds, or maybe 5. All right. So let's see here. Diffusion and osmosis are both vital to cell function. Diffusion and osmosis are similar in that they're both types of what? What do they have in common? Oh, are they passive transport or active transport? Passive, yeah. Selectively permeable or semi-permeable. Remember, that means the same thing. If something's semi-permeable, that means only certain things are going to go in and out. Just like our cell membranes are semi-permeable or selectively permeable. So remember that word. That's a key word there. If any kind of cell is trying to get rid of water or gain water or anything else, remember, they're just trying to maintain homeostasis. That's the whole goal of why cell transport's important. Because the cell needs to maintain kind of that internal balance. So make sure you remember that. There's a couple questions that are very similar to the lab we did with the grapes. Talking about, if something's placed in salt water, what should you expect to see? If something's placed in, fresh water, what should you expect to see? So make sure you understand that. If something's in salt water, it's probably going to shrink because the water is going to be leaving the cell. And then on the flip side, water is going to be entering the cell if it's placed in fresh water. A few more organelle questions. Dropping the test. Yeah, the cellular function of the cell membrane, which statement is not correct. So you're looking for something that's not true about cell membranes. It's really not too much to it. A lot of stuff we, obviously have directly done in class. Remember when we talked in class today, what does ATP mean? If you see ATP on any kind of question or picture or anything, remember you're thinking cellular energy. So if there's ATP present, that means there's cellular energy needed for whatever's going on. And for our purposes, if there's cellular energy, that is probably going to be talking about active transport. Okay? So I'll be there in the morning, probably about 7:45 or so. If anybody wants to come by and just go over some more things together, you're more than welcome to. If you're lucky enough to have me after lunch, you can come in at lunch and ask whatever questions. Remember, I'm here to help out. So use your resources wisely and make sure that review's done. You'll need to turn that in before the test. And that's about it for me. So hope y'all have a great night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.